A lot of us are familiar with what happened with Hafeez and Just Pearly Things. I mean, first it was Coach Greg Adams, and they were on Soulscast, which I visited the Valuetainment offices the last couple weeks. And I seen how they ran their stuff, and I was very, very impressed with how it is that they got things situated. And I learned a lot from doing a tour in their office. Right, shout out to the people over there in Valuetainment that invited me down to the offices. Um, Coach Greg Adams mopped the floor with Hafeez in a debate, right? And then he appeared on Just Pearly Things and he embarrassed himself, right? Him and Just Pearly Things did a video and he embarrassed himself. And everybody reacted to it, including myself, right? And then he proceeded to embarrass himself even more on some other things, whatever, so on and so forth. But I got tired of talking about Hafeez because what I realized is that the thing that helped some of these channels and some of these people blew up is not the thing that can sustain them. And so when I talk about complacency, and again, you're going to see a theme throughout the show. Um, this is one of the very definitions of it. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the video in which apparently he decided he wanted to quit the roommates and he wanted to quit making videos on YouTube. But I don't want to hear the whole thing because a lot of it is just a lot of jargon and all of this other type of stuff, right? And it's not a lot of meat in this. But at one point in this video, towards the end, he decided that he wanted to send us off with his true thoughts. And see, one thing that I've learned about Hafeez and watching his content since Coach Greg Adams got a hold to him and mangled him like a pit bull. One thing I learned about Hafeez is that no matter how much he tries to remain in frame, because there's nothing wrong with being passionate about what you really mean, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But the one thing that I've learned about Hafeez is that no matter how much he tries to remain in frame, he's always going to expose his hand. He's always going to show what his true feelings are. And just because he masks it in a way in which it tries to seem like he's just being objective, it's not. On his way out the door, after he said that he was done and he's wrapping it up and he said goodbye, he said one thing. He said one thing specifically that really caught my eye because the first part of the video was boring and then the second part of the video caught my eye. Check this out, y'all. I'm gonna try to scrub through and see and show you what's happening.
Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Hafeez. Hope you guys are having a great day today, and let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Ever since I was 19 years old, I had a heart and passion for helping the lives of young.
Okay, so he goes into all of that. I had a heart and passion for helping the lives of young men and all of this other type of stuff. And we started this podcast because we were all roommates and everybody went their separate ways or whatever. And I'm quitting. That's the cliff notes, right? Let me fast forward it to see if I can scrub through to find the things that actually is meaningful. Because on his way out the door, he has some things to say.
Offline, man. The internet is cool, right? It's a national community of extraordinary men committed to overall excellence, assisting others, and leaving a legacy of change. And it's been an absolute blessing because life happens offline, man. The internet is cool, right? It's great to get information, but man, it has been so exceptional to actually been spending all these years with all these guys. A lot of them used to watch the roommates back in the days, and for us to live life together, grow, transform our lives, and to leave a strong legacy. So with a very, very heavy heart, I'm here to announce I will no longer be doing content on the roommates page. Chris will continue doing content on this page, but I will not because I am transitioning into a different season. But I'm not gonna leave you guys with nothing. With the guys of the standard, we did a live podcast series with some of my favorite people, Jose Zuniga, Dr. Warren Farrell, and Anthony O'Neill. And I'm gonna be sharing you guys this live podcast series as my parting gift to you guys as a thanks for all that you have done, man. I would not be here without all you amazing men, as well as all the amazing women who have supported us throughout all the years. And I want to leave you guys with one message.
This is where it gets good. This is where my ears perked up because I wanted to see what this one message is. And I got some thoughts about this shortly, but let's hear what he about to say.
Actually, two messages, but we'll try to blend them together. In today's society, what has broken my heart the most is that the biggest people who are against men are other men. There came a time where feminism and a lot of these far left ideas were really destroying the lives of the families and destroying the lives of men. But unfortunately, in today's world, men are the chief perpetrators. Men are the one who are trying to tell other men to not start families, to not.
He couldn't just quietly go into the sunset and say, you know what? I'm no longer doing the roommates. I'm not going to make content on the internet anymore. I'm transitioning into a different season into my life. I'm married now. God loves me. Hallelujah. Parting ways. Let's keep it moving. Nobody is checking for our content anymore. Our channel is dead. You know, my other channel is not popping. None of that. He couldn't just leave it at that. He couldn't leave. I'm telling you, listen, y'all. Whoever it is, no matter who they are, you are going to see them for who they truly are because they can't let it go. They gonna let whatever is in deep inside of you, it comes out through the mouth, it comes out through the tongue. And that's why God says, you know, your tongue is quite possibly one of the most deadliest weapons that you have. You can destroy somebody with the power of your tongue, right? And so he could not just let it go and say, God bless, I added as much value as I possibly can. My channel ain't popping no more. I got to keep moving. He had to go ahead and try to throw men under the bus. And this is so disingenuous. And I'm going to play the rest of this video, but I'm going to tell you why it's disingenuous first, right? Because A, when he decided that he wanted to get married, then all of a sudden it became cool to become a single baby mama. I put Hafeez in the same boat as Boyce Watkins, in the same boat as Dr. Umar Johnson, and it's in the same boat as all the rest of these dudes that's advocating for men to do something that they don't want to do or may not be in their best interest. I am a married man. I have been married for much longer than Hafeez. Successfully married, might I add. And you know what my family life is like. And you know how my wife operates. Extreme femininity, awesome, pours into my life, the whole 9 yards, right? I've already given y'all know who I am, right? But here's the interesting thing about it though. I'm not against marriage. I'm against not being successfully married. I'm against people getting married under duress. I'm against people like him advocating for love and to get married under a horrible circumstance. I'm against getting married and having children with the family court laws still the way that they are. You don't run people into the fire. You give them the information that they need in order to be successfully married, but then at the same time, you be honest with them and say, listen, but that may not be for you, or this may not be for you, right? I'm not going to push what my life is like on somebody else just because it may or may not have worked for me. I'm going to give them the information that they need in order to be successful and let them make their own decision. But as long as the family court laws are the way that they are, as long as women continue to have children out of wedlock and then they try to get the guy that was the good guy to take care of them afterwards, and then you supposed to continue your family legacy as a step baby daddy, that's not cool. And so just because men now have a voice and a platform in which they can voice their concerns and their frustrations, and then they can look to vet effectively, or they look for leadership from guys that actually have lived it for an extended period of time, and then make decisions accordingly, does not even mean for a little bit that men are advocating against you continuing your legacy or starting a family. We don't want you to suffer as a result of it because we've seen that story play out. Too many men for too many years have suffered, and for us to continue to make the same mistakes now that we have access to information is silly. It's dumb. And so we hold women accountable. We hold men accountable. As a matter of fact, y'all have seen me on this platform and my other channel hold men more accountable than women. But now that we're starting to get to the real root of the problem and the concern, you got people like this that can't just walk away and let the sun set on your channel. They still having this conversation like we care about what they think. But let me get into what he really said. I'm going to let him play the rest of the video. He can't just quit.
Not leave a legacy. And it's so embarrassing to be able to see how so many of these fake content creators who are literally only doing this for profit, who don't even care about the people, have been manipulating and deceiving so many men and discouraging so many women is absolutely shameful.
And discouraging so many women is absolutely shameful. He is very much really sounding like Boyce Watkins right now. He is sounding just like Derek Jackson. He is sounding just like Dr. Umar Johnson. Couldn't just let the sun set on his departure. You did good. You grew your channel. You got a lot of subscribers. Nobody fucking checking for that shit anymore because they realize what it is that you really grown into, and your true colors are revealed. Instead of you rebranding, instead of you going over into that, he decided that he wants to throw all of the guys in the dumpster on his way out the door, acting like he's holier than thou. Okay, let's hear your self-righteousness.
So my advice to every last man and woman is remember, life happens offline. Life happens outside. Go into the real world and actually meet people, meet husbands and fathers and mothers, meet actual individuals who are leaving a legacy, leading a family, because the internet wants to keep you bitter and nihilistic and miserable and angry. And because they know by doing these things, these people can turn a profit. So my prayer is that you guys surround yourselves with amazing, high quality people.
I am everything that he listed and more. I'm richer. I have a stronger family foundation. I come from a foundation and a family that is great, especially with regard to church, the thing that he decided that he's now getting into. From a lineage of men that has never been divorced. All of us are making a lot of money as a result of it, and all of us add value into people's lives, and our wives don't work. So now what? And this is the same argument that women then try to make against men. But the reason why I'm Teflon Ton is because I am the thing that they advocating for men to be. And now that we standing on our square and our purpose, he's saying, oh, no, 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 not them. Go over there and talk to your simp ass father or that step baby daddy over there, because love is more important than looking at it from a business perspective.
Some of you guys, it may be with the standard, but I'll be honest with you, it's not about the standard. It's about you, wherever you can go. Please find real people, not, I'm going to say it one more time, not fictional WWE characters who present themselves as faux MMA players online. I'm talking about real life human beings who don't.
This is y'all king. Yo, is this the person that y'all subscribe to? Is this the person that y'all look at as the standard? A dude that is so bitter. And he didn't even turn this bitter until after Coach Greg Adams grabbed him by his collar and rung him up. After the OG, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Listen, Coach, you done some damage out here in these streets. Coach Greg Adams, let me bring you to the front of the congregation. You have done an immeasurable amount of damage to this young man, so much so to where he's literally bitter on his way out the door. He didn't forget about you. He did not forget about the fact that you grabbed him by his collars and kicked his black ass. And then just pearly things, a white woman came in and then wrung him out again. And so now he's over here bitter, talking about don't listen to these guys because they're WWE characters. Coach Greg Adams has been absolutely transparent about what his life has been and what his experience has been. I have been absolutely transparent about what my life has been and what my experience has been. And we're on two different ends of the spectrum, and we both agree. I've even had conversations with Coach Greg Adams on his platform, and we came to the conclusion that both of us look at it the exact same way, even from two different ends of the spectrum. So if we both agree, but we both in different places in our life, and we both older than you and OGs and have more experience than you, then what should that tell you about the information and the conversations that you have? Listen, if anything, and God forbid, I don't want anything to ever happen to anybody's relationship, marriage, especially if they have kids. But if anything ever happens in your relationship to where you decide that you ever wanted to get divorced, Mr. Hafeez, I want you to bring yourself back to the front of the congregation and be very transparent about what your experience is. Because we don't just want to hear it from one side. We want to get the whole thing.
Don't turn on the camera and pretend to be someone that they're not. Whatever you do, men, whatever you do, women, if you surround yourself with real people who are actually living the life that you feel God has called you to live, I promise you, you'll be all right. So, guys, thank you so much for your time. I love you guys.
God can't save you when you got self-inflicted wounds. The Lord says that it rains on the just and the unjust, and you're going to have to be accountable for the decisions that you make on this earth. It does not absolve you from being held responsible. So, this is what y'all get. This is what y'all get. On his way out the door, he decided to kick y'all in the back. You know he's not man enough to actually respond to anything or be able to cam up with anybody. He got forced into that conversation with Coach Greg Adams because he didn't know what he was getting his ass into. But this is what he's telling y'all on his way out the door. Let me pull up the roommates' stuff real quick. I just want to see something. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull this up. So they got 526,000 subscribers. His most popular videos was Candace Owens, Kevin Samuels, Dr. Jordan Peterson, so on and so forth. All right, so let's see this. He just dropped a video that said goodbye, 7,000, 11,000. This video did 1.6. Last time they've been dropping videos was 3 months ago. Since this one, they dropped a video 3 months ago. 5 months ago, 1.3 thousand views, 2.1 thousand views, 2.2, 5.2, 8.2 5 months ago, 4.3. All right, so this shit is falling off. Give me a second. Let me go to his channel. All right, so this is their featured channel. So Hafeez's channel.
Cut the cable with Verizon Home.
Is this 2 months ago, 6 months ago, 7 months, 4 months, 7 months? All right, so he got 21,000. And then the Chris guy got 2,000 subscribers. 431 views, 289, 359, 817. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this shit up. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. It's a wrap. They had got lazy. They stopped producing quality content. They got complacent. They wind up blowing up at a time where it was a lane for them and they didn't really capitalize off of it. And so now he's saying get offline because ain't nobody checking for the content that they're looking for. And nobody wants to be a part of the standard, allegedly. I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know. Something has to happen in real life that threw him off. And usually I see these people come to Jesus and, I don't know, the pastor tell you to get off the internet or something like that, and then it just goes south. But God bless them. Just stop throwing your men under the bus or the people that's a part of the standard under the bus on your way out.